Ascent Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Unwavering, Rejecting Bias, Igniting Change, Celebrating Inclusion by Nellie Borrero, narrated by Carmona. Limit of liability / disclaimer of warranty. While the publisher and author have used their best efforts in preparing this book, they make no representations or warranties with respect to the accuracy or completeness of the contents of this book, and specifically disclaim any implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. No warranty may be created or extended by sales representatives or written sales materials. The advice and strategies contained herein may not be suitable for your situation. You should consult with a professional where appropriate. Neither the publisher nor author shall be liable for any loss of profit or any other commercial damages, including but not limited to special, incidental, consequential, or other damages. Further, listeners should be aware that websites listed in this work may have changed or disappeared between when this work was written and when it is read. Neither the publisher nor authors shall be liable for any loss of profit or any other commercial damages, including but not limited to special, incidental, consequential, or other damages. Forward. The success of Accenture is completely entwined with our focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion. With the culture and sense of belonging, we have better financial performance, attract the best talent, and live our core values. But it was not always this way at our company. In 2010, when I joined Accenture, then CEO Pierre Nanterme said to me, "We aren't leaders, we are fast followers." And we both knew that posture was not sufficient to ensure our success. Just a few years later, we set the ambition to be innovation-led and to rotate our company from being less than 20% digital, cloud and security to 70% by 2020. We recognize that you cannot lead in innovation and reinvent the core of your business by being a fast follower. And you cannot be an innovator without a wide range of perspectives, expertise, and insight. That was the point where diversity became a business priority. The business rationale is clear. Talent is a competitive differentiator. To be successful in the coming decade, companies will need to access, create, and unlock the potential of talent. And if leaders do not attract diverse talent, they shrink their pool of talent by default, leading to less of a competitive advantage. So, we set the strategy and goals, collected data, and began to hold our leaders accountable, just as we do with our financial priorities. And in 2015, as CEO of Accenture North America, I published externally, for the first time in our industry, our U.S. workforce demographic data for gender, race, and ethnicity, persons with disabilities, and veterans. We did so with a clear vision in mind. Transparency builds trust. Our numbers were not good at the outset, so we doubled down, and we began to attract more diverse talent, not because we were where we wanted to be, but because people knew we were committed to fostering a culture where everyone can be themselves and reach their potential both personally and professionally. None of this would have happened without Nellie Borrero. Nellie's journey is Accenture's journey. In her words, she has led the way in rejecting biases, taking the space, and owning it with good intention. She has helped Accenture and countless companies and individuals move from aspiration to action. Her determination and relentless focus on doing the right thing for everyone in the room, even when it is incredibly difficult, have moved the needle from a lack of understanding and sometimes even blind resistance to change to a welcome and necessary reality of diversity through intention, inclusion through choice, and equality through everyday actions. I greatly value my relationship with Nellie, and I am inspired by her journey. She has been instrumental in helping me become the leader I aspire to be, through her fearless feedback and clear counsel. For decades, Nellie has traveled the world, sharing lessons learned with underrepresented communities and coaching generations of leaders on how best to lead others, particularly around diversity. In this book, she offers practical advice on negotiating cultural collisions, creating your own brand of courage, cultivating a sense of belonging, and knowing your worth. At the heart of all this is Nellie's personal story, the ups and downs with nothing held back. This is a book about human potential and possibility, grounded in real emotion and her boundless empathy. It is not always easy listening, because it is not intended to be. Diversity and inclusion are challenging issues. Nellie raises the tough questions about belonging, marginalizing, and self-minimalizing that we must ask about the people we work with and ourselves, especially if we are leaders. What does it feel like to be uncomfortable in your own skin, to feel marginalized and alone, to have your abilities questioned by others, and to question them yourself? Through her honesty, her openness, and her practical guidance, Nellie is igniting the change she wants to see in the world. Guided by her insightful and hopeful book, we can work together toward a future where everyone is seen, heard, and valued, and everyone celebrates inclusion. Julie Sweet, Chair and Chief Executive Officer, Accenture. Introduction. The Power of One Question. Several years ago, my colleague Carolina and I were debating a career opportunity that would have evolved the work that I'd been doing to have a more global reach. It was an expanded role that would have undoubtedly propelled my career to new leadership heights, and the type of professional advancement that I had visualized for quite some time. Yet, instead of being fully excited, I sat there listing all of the reasons, or more accurately, all of the excuses, why it was not a sound strategic move for me at that time. I felt a heaviness that robbed me of my freedom to get excited and feel truly joyous about the opportunity. As I relentlessly added to the list of negatives, Carolina asked me in a very direct and deliberate manner, "Nellie, who in your past has made you believe that you are not good enough?" Her stare was piercing and somewhat intimidating. Although I knew in my heart that her question came from a genuinely good place, she was a team member who reported to me, and we'd known each other for quite some time at that point. My mind immediately went to, what did she just have the audacity to ask me? Seriously, why would she ask me that? I paused for a moment, hoping that my body language adequately concealed my defensiveness. With conviction and a serious attitude, I replied, "Absolutely no one." I was not willing to be exposed, and I wanted my reply to end the conversation. I redirected the conversation towards other topics we needed to address, but as decisive as my answer was, I couldn't deny the unpleasant sting that resonated inside of me. It was obvious that she had touched a nerve. At home that evening, I still could not shake off the discomfort of Carolina's question. I tried to shift my attention to my normal evening routine. I turned on the news for some distracting noise and tore through the kitchen, flinging open the refrigerator and cupboards to quickly cook dinner. But none of it helped. With every dash of seasoning I shook into the pot, I could, in almost perfect synchronization, hear myself repeat each word from that provocative question. Who made you believe you're not good enough? I knew it was time to stir one of the pots on the stove, but I was too distracted to do so. One by one, faster and faster,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?